So now it's time for the final video of the series. In the previous tutorial, we learned the use of Vibrance Saturation Adjustment tool to create a monochromatic image. Today in the fourth tutorial of the series, we are going to learn the use of another next alternative tool for the same application. Please do stay tuned throughout the series of all the tutorials so that you don't miss out on any of these useful techniques in Photoshop. Welcome back to the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Niladri from the Digital Notion, and without any further delay, let's get started with the fourth tutorial of the series for creating a monochromatic image in Photoshop. First, let's create a level adjustment layer and tweak the sliders to increase the contrast and reduce the highlights of the image slightly so that it looks better when turned into monochrome. Then just select the black and white option from the adjustment layer options, and as simple as that, it creates an equivalent monochromatic image of the underlying layers. But we are not done yet. From the properties panel, just have a look at the values of the 6 sliders of red, green, blue, cyan, yellow and magentas, which are the colors that compose the image. Change the slider values so that the subject's skin tones appear close to the original image's contrast and highlights. And this can be done by changing the red and yellow slider values, because as per the original image, the skin tones compose of reds and yellows. Also change other slider values as per your requirements. Please make sure the details of the overall image are not lost. Then, after completing, create a curves adjustment layer and change the curve values as follows to make sure the image has punchier dark tones and highlights and midtones at optimum level. Then create another curves adjustment layer to darken the image and reduce the highlights as minimum as possible, keeping the details visible, hence tweak the curve as per requirements. If the small white rectangular icon appears already beside the curves properties panel icon, select it, or else create a mask by clicking the clipping mask icon down below. Then choose the brush tool. Make sure the foreground color is black selected and reduce the harshness of the brush to say around 60%, and then just paint over the subject. This pops the subject from the underlying layer on top of the darkened filter we just created using curves. Then once done, select the background layer and press Ctrl J to create a copy. Then use the dodge and burn tool to highlight the specific details on the subject. For example, in this case, we use the dodge and burn tool to increase the shines of the sunglasses and wristwatch to add more depth to the subject. After completing, select the last creative curves layer and just create a transparent layer by choosing the new layer option with a plus icon down below. Then choose gradient from toolbar. Make sure the gradient type selected is transparent from the gradient type picker from top. If not, then please do change to transparent from basics, and also foreground color should be black selected. Then hold down the Shift key and drag from each of the edges of the image towards the edges of the subject. Then create a mask and using the brush tool, just paint over the subject. This creates a visionating effect. You can reduce the opacity of the layer. For example, in this case, we reduce the opacity to say around 30%. Then preview the changes and make any other changes if required. And finally, that's all. We are done. If you do end up liking my content, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications bell icon for receiving further updates as a new video comes up. And please do like, comment and share, and stay tuned. Thank you.